friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie 429. Day in that neighborhood. My brothers and sisters. Today is most definitely a beautiful day in the neighborhood, y'all. Because one of my brothers from another mother, instead of giving us 5 clips before horror, today he is giving us 10 clips before horror. And that brother is Ryan from Tragedy Tales. Back to Tragedy Tales, y'all. And I'm still stuck on that last video that we watched from him, man. That last story he told, even though I heard it before, really like brought tears running down my face, man. I couldn't even hold them in. And I'm pretty sure these 10 clips might bring some more tears. You never know, man. You never know. But the title of it is Turbine Terror. 10 clips before horror. I don't know, man. All I know is, y'all, that it's an hour and 3 minutes long, and I'm just ready to get into it. But before we get into it, y'all got to sit back and relax. But before you sit back and relax, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. We back to Ryan from Tragedy Tales. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
It's kind of crazy that nowadays anyone can pull a decent video camera out of their pocket and they can record something. We all love filming the good times, but every now and then, cameras catch things that are just truly horrifying.
Oh, shit.
I'm Ryan from Tragedy Tales, and in this 10th episode of the series, and for my 300,000 subscriber special, yet again, I've dug deep. I've scoured the deepest, darkest corners of the internet, for this time, not 5, but 10 clips captured right before horror. From a terrifying freak landslide in China, to a truly shocking ice hockey incident in the UK, to the man that did the unthinkable. This week, we've got clips from all across the world that will leave you in shock. So, as usual, grab yourself a nice hot drink, sit down and draw the curtains. Let's get right into it.
Get whatever you may need. Man, this is gonna be crazy, y'all. Just from the little preview of the clips, man. I knew something wrong with all them people touching that alligator. I knew that was a horror that was goddamn inevitable. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to say real quick, y'all. Shout out to my boy Ryan for hitting over 300K subscribers, man. You so great, bro. Like, it is much appreciated, my brother. Let's go, y'all. Number 10.
This terrifying entry begins on New Year's Day 2024 in Utah, United States, or more specifically at the Salt Lake City International Airport. That bitter January day, a 30-year-old man named Kyler Effinger had booked a flight from Utah to Denver, Colorado. Kyler had worked at the front desk of a Holiday Inn Express, and he was described by a coworker as helpful, kind, and honest. He absolutely loved his golden retriever, Quicksilver, that he got as a puppy as a service dog. However, Kyler did suffer from what looked like a pretty bad case of bipolar disorder. By looking at his Instagram, over the years, not only did he post quite a few photos of his beautiful service dog, Quicksilver, showing his friends the growth from a puppy to a full-grown hound, but he also posted quite a few times documenting his fight with bipolar. One post in particular in 2023, Kyler announced that it had been 2 years since his last manic episode. He said, "I'm thankful for my doctors, therapists, medication, psych techs, social workers, nurses, family and friends, and especially my pup, Quicksilver, for keeping me."
I just gotta give a shout out to him just for admitting that he is bipolar. You know what I'm saying, man? Because a lot of people out here bipolar and they deny it to the death. You know what I'm saying? They would deny it to the freaking death. At least he tried. He did get help. You know what I'm saying? If y'all seen a little earlier, he was hashtagging bipolar day or whatever, something like that. Like he really was about the movement about bipolar disorder. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't afraid to admit that he was bipolar. Shout out to him, man. Because like I said, a lot of people wouldn't even admit that.
Me level through this. Sadly, however, in July of 2023, Kyler announced on his Instagram that he had to say goodbye to his beloved dog. He said that she was the embodiment of a service animal and that she would be missed dearly.
Damn.
So, Kyler had a history of mental health conditions, but it seemed at the time he was getting better. But in the summer of 2023, Kyler lost his dog, and then in late 2023, he received news that his grandfather was gravely ill. In a desperate attempt to see his grandfather before he passed away, Kyler booked a last-minute plane ticket, and at around 9 PM on January the 1st, 2024, Kyler arrived at the Salt Lake City's International Airport for his flight from Utah to Denver, Colorado. Nothing was out of the ordinary. He queued up with his suitcase and made his way through security. Despite arriving at the airport with plenty of time to spare, once Kyler got to security, he was held up for an extended period of time, and sadly, this caused him to miss his flight. When Kyler begged to get onto the flight, saying that he needed to see his grandfather, the staff refused. Realizing that he had perhaps missed his last chance to see his dying grandfather, this triggered a manic bipolar episode. In a frantic state, Kyler rang his father, and his father said, and I quote, "Those phone calls, I just knew it was coming on. They call it the manic phase, and those just don't end well for him. And obviously this one was the worst one ever." After being refused entry onto the plane, Kyler went wild. He totally lost it. All captured on CCTV, it showed him running around the empty airport lobby, running towards a locked door at gate A2. He'd taken off his shoes and he was carrying them in his hand. He then attempted to open the door towards the tarmac and towards the plane, but luckily it was locked. After this doesn't work, he can then be seen speaking to a member of staff before running off and attempting to open another locked door at gate A1. He tugs on the door handle furiously before falling to the ground. He then gets back up and pulls on the handle again, before rushing over to the window next to it and banging on it profusely. He then got his shoes and threw them out the window, before running off and trying more doors.
He has completely lost it, y'all. At this point, he has lost all his marbles, and he don't give a damn. He don't care about no consequences.
As seen on CCTV, Kyler can be seen trying the emergency exit, and this time, it works. After opening the door, he slipped past security, down the emergency exit stairs, and straight onto the tarmac. Pictured by a thermal imaging camera that was situated on the runway, you can see Kyler running on the tarmac, barefoot, towards a Delta Airlines plane that was already carrying 100 passengers and was actually boarding for takeoff. What Kyler would do next would shock everyone. At 9:52 PM, the airport manager reported a disturbance involving a passenger on the secured side of the terminal, requesting police assistance. Police reportedly arrived at the airport at around 10 PM, but when they got onto the runway, Kyler was nowhere to be seen. All they found was his clothing and his shoes strewn all over. The police continued to scour the scene, and all of a sudden they spotted Kyler on top of one of the airport's de-icing pads. Before they could even stop him, before they could even get to him, Kyler climbed onto the still running wing-mounted engine, and within a blink of an eye, he was sucked inside the whirling blades.
Oh my Jesus Christ. Ooh wee, man, that was sending chills through my body. Bro, he had completely lost it, y'all. Like, I don't even think he was thinking that this freaking fan gonna suck me in, you know what I'm saying, and chop me up. I'm pretty sure he wasn't even thinking about that at that point. I don't know what he was thinking about, man. I feel like he had just lost it, you know what I'm saying? He did one of them times from back in the day that he had got away from, came back, and he was back in his manic state. Is that what it is? Maniac state? I don't know the correct word, but I'm just saying, man, he had went back to that dark place that he had fought for so long to stay away from. And Jesus Christ, look at the end result. Woo.
Air traffic control instructed the plane to shut down its engines, but by then, the damage was done. Astonishingly, despite the immense forces at play here, police discovered that Kyler was not dead, but unconscious. Salt Lake City Police Department officers and airport employees tried their best to remove what was left of him through the cowling, which is basically a removable cover of the engine, and here they tried their best to save his life. The Salt Lake City Fire Department assisted in several attempts to revive him, but sadly, the efforts proved unsuccessful, and tragically, Kyler was pronounced dead at the scene. He was finally reunited with Quicksilver, his beautiful dog that he loved so much.
Damn, man.
Although airport operations carried on as normal after the incident, the police said that they worked to secure the area and deplane the passengers. And soon after, local and federal officials launched a death investigation into the circumstances surrounding Kyler's passing. To me, this was just a deadly domino effect of disasters. Firstly, Kyler had a mental health crisis at the airport, alone, with no one that he knew personally to calm him down. With the stress of his dog dying 6 months previously, and now his granddad being gravely ill, and then missing the flight, it must have just pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, man, all that stuff just added up, and it took him back to his dark days. But it's crazy, y'all, to at least to me, that he had survived for a little while after being sucked into that propeller or whatever the correct word is. But y'all know what I'm saying, man. Just for him to survive that for that little bit of time is crazy. That's one of those things where I think you would die. I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 a person would die as soon as they get in that situation. But it's at the end of the day, he did pass away. So rest in peace to Kyler, man, and Quicksilver. Because from all those pictures, like, he got a lot of pictures with Quicksilver, man. So you know they had a bond. I feel like dogs and humans can have a bond that even a human and a human can't have. Now, some of y'all might disagree with that, but dogs love you unconditionally, and they'll never lie to you. And that's why I love my dog. But let's go.
Despite Kyler phoning his dad, even his own father couldn't calm him down. This was a mental health crisis that needed to get under control. Number one, why didn't the airport recognize this and intervene to stop him before any damage was done? Why weren't all the plane engines shut off, knowing that someone had got loose on the runway? And why was he even able to get onto the tarmac with active planes in the first place? I know fire escapes exist for a reason, but why would it lead onto the tarmac? I don't know, there's many questions. It seems that so many safety nets were bypassed that night, and it led to his tragic passing at the young age of 30.
Damn, man. Just rest in peace to Kyler, y'all, like I said, man. But like Ryan just said then, it do kind of seem, I'm not going to blame the airport too much, but it do seem like some weird issues going on as far as like when he was running, trying to break in all these doors and stuff. Like, y'all don't have no security in this airport. Don't nobody watch the cameras, the CCTV footage as he was trying to break in these doors. Y'all could have kind of prevented him from doing that. And then when he got on the freaking runway, the pilot should have stopped the plane right then and said, hold on, it's a man running out here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's a little weird. I don't really want to blame anybody. I just want to say rest in peace to Kyler and Quicksilver. Let's go to number 9. That was a hell of a way to start off. Number 9.
This truly insane footage begins on April the 17th, 2013, in the city of West, Texas. Not to be confused with the general region of West Texas. West is a town in Texas, funnily enough, not even situated in the western part of Texas. It's actually more central or eastern. Regardless, the town is a close-knit community, with each neighbor knowing each other, being home to around 2,500 people. That fateful evening, at approximately 7:30 p.m, emergency dispatchers received a 911 call telling them that smoke was billowing from a fertilizer and seed stockpile plant.
West fire, the West fertilizer is, one of their bills is on fire. There's heavy smoke coming out of the top of it.
The West Fertilizer Company that owned this warehouse was known to stockpile and sell commercial fertilizer to local farmers. The two most notable chemicals were ammonia nitrate and anhydrous ammonia, two extremely reactive chemicals. Very similar chemicals caused the Beirut explosion, which led to an enormous blast. Link above if you're interested in that. However, minutes after the emergency call, the West Fire Department was quickly mobilized to confront the fire. By 7:39 p.m, the first firefighting team had reached the scene, only to find that the warehouse had already been consumed by intense flames and smoke. While the firefighters knew that it was a chemical storage facility, they were totally unaware of the magnitude of danger that was waiting for them. As more firefighters joined the effort, the blaze only grew larger. The situation rapidly escalated from dire to downright catastrophic. Merely 10 minutes after their arrival, at approximately 7:50 p.m, the warehouse detonated in a massive explosion, all captured on video. This unleashed a massive firestorm that resembled an apocalyptic scene. The entire fertilizer plant went up in flames. This blast could be heard from all across the town.
There's nothing the fire department can do. They just gonna let it burn me because it's too hot.
Bro.
The enormity of the explosion was so large that it registered as a 2.1 magnitude earthquake, with its shockwaves felt up to 80 miles away. The force was strong enough to completely obliterate 60 to 80 homes, level a 50-unit apartment building, destroy a nursing home and ambulance station, and even derail a nearby cargo train, completely distorting the tracks beneath it. Residents within a half-a-mile radius experienced shattered windows, while the ground shook with a formidable force. Sadly, this is when emergency calls came through, and one call relayed that they believed a bomb had gone off at the chemical storage facility and that many firefighters had died.
A bomb? Somebody put a bomb in there? Am I tripping? Is that what Ryan just said? But no, man, I just had to stop it real quick just to give a shout out to firefighters, man. I don't think firefighters really like get enough respect as they should. Like, I don't feel like, and I could be wrong, but I don't feel like just people in general give them as much respect for how they put their lives on the line as far as, you know what I'm saying, trying to help save people compared to police officers. You know what I'm saying, man? And I feel like firefighters, man, they putting their life on the line just as much, because just the fact that they rolled up to that freaking flame at a fertilizer plant, well, you know, they weren't expecting it, but it is a possibility that this thing can blow up at any second. You know what I'm saying, man? But they still put their life on the line. All these different firefighters who go fight these forest fires. Like, I know a firefighter. Well, I knew him. I used to work with him. And he was a forest firefighter, whatever, man. He was one of the ones out there in them forests fighting them fires. And he was telling me some of the most crazy stories, man. So I just got a great appreciation for firefighters. But now I'm just wondering, y'all, how many people passed away from this? Because this explosion affected a huge radius of that town.
We need every ambulance we can get this way. A bomb just went off inside here. It's pretty bad. We got a lot of firemen down.
Upon the arrival of emergency medical services, the fertilizer plant was no longer standing. It was now completely enveloped in fire, and where the plant once stood, now sat a vast crater etched out of the ground, measuring 93 feet in diameter and spanning 10 feet deep, a true testament to the explosion's force. Despite the known presence of hazardous chemicals like ammonium nitrate, the responding firefighters had not been trained to handle such specialized chemical emergencies. The explosion had devastatingly overwhelmed them. The aftermath of the blast was severe and widespread, causing unparalleled destruction in the local community. The blast resulted in the deaths of 12 firefighters at the scene who were risking their lives to save others, with an additional 3 lives lost, culminating in the total death of 15 people. Additionally, the explosion injured 260 individuals, rendered 3 schools beyond repair, and damaged half of the town's 700 homes. The blast was so severe that it cost the town of West approximately $230 million in damages. This prompted questions about the cause of the disaster and the rationale behind building it so close to residential zones. Now, despite a thorough investigation that lasted over a month and cost over $1 million, the exact cause of the explosion remains unknown. However, in the investigations, it was discovered that even though the facility was under the oversight of 7 state and federal entities, the actual site had not been inspected for years prior to the incident. Alarmingly, it was found that the warehouse was storing large quantities of highly explosive chemicals, merely separated by small plywood partitions. The facility lacked a pre-incident plan, it had inadequate emergency response measures, and was devoid of any essential fire safety features, like fire-resistant materials, for example, or maybe sprinkler systems. You know, simple stuff. In its 2012 filing with the Environmental Protection Agency, the West Fertilizer Company disclosed that it had around 270 tons of ammonium nitrate on the site, a quantity that was deemed 1,350 times greater than what was deemed safe, and this ignited, causing an explosion with the power of 15 to 20,000 pounds of dynamite.
Bro, they had all that goddamn, what it is, nitrate. I can't even remember the word no more, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the ammonia shit, whatever, man. 270 tons? Boy, that is a recipe for disaster. It's like y'all waiting on the inevitable. Man, these people be being so careless, and it's like it's one thing to be careless when you just dealing with your life. But when you know so many other people can possibly lose their lives because of your carelessness, that's when it started to piss me off, man. Like, come on, man. Y'all know that damn place wasn't safe. Y'all been knew that. And, oh, man. Just rest in peace to those 15 people. Let's go.
Federal guidelines mandate that the Department of Homeland Security should be notified if more than 1 ton of ammonium nitrate is stored, a protocol that was not done whatsoever, rendering the entire warehouse a ticking time bomb. The West Fertilizer Company was fined $118,000 US for violating several rules regarding handling hazardous materials. Following the catastrophe, the West Fertilizer Company, who was under the ownership of Adair Grain, faced financial ruin. They had to file for bankruptcy due to only being insured for $1 million. On April the 25th, President Obama himself came down to Texas to console the town of West. He hosted a memorial for those lost in a local gymnasium, and almost 10,000 gathered from across Texas to remember the first responders and those lost in the blast. As Obama delivered his speech, the gymnasium was illuminated by the bursts of light from cameras and cell phones. The president's address lasted 16 minutes, during which he cited scripture and praised the courage of the victims, whose coffins lay in front of them, covered with flags. He said, upon arriving at the scene, "Fear was left behind. You guys battled the flames with all of your might, fully aware of the risks involved." This event triggered a wave of lawsuits from the West community against Adar Grain and various product suppliers, seeking compensation for the damage, loss of life, and the injuries incurred. Plaintiffs argued that the proximity of the ammonia nitrate stockpile was too close to residential areas and posed a significant risk. They also accused the whole place of just being run recklessly. While the city secured a settlement, other lawsuits were resolved in private settlements. In the following years, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms and Explosives concluded that the fire was actually a criminal act, an act of arson. They offered a reward of up to $50,000. However, this conclusion that was reached by the ATF, that the fire was arson, had faced considerable doubt. Although the disaster prompted calls for regulatory reforms to prevent similar incidents, so far there has been little progress in enhancing oversight or safety measures for these huge storage facilities. To remember the 15 people that were lost too soon, a memorial now stands near the site of the former facility. Here stands 15 separate plaques with photos and names of the people who lost their lives in this deadly blast. This memorial serves as a poignant reminder of the tragedy, ensuring that the events of that terrifying day are never forgotten.
Man, that one right there, seeing those 15 caskets lined up in a row with the American flags, with all the people in the crowd, Obama on the stage, that's heartbreaking as hell, man. Like, that brings out a lot of emotions in me, y'all. And just those firefighters, I'm just saying, man, y'all, we gotta just give the fire. I don't know, and maybe I'm not talking to y'all. I'm not talking to y'all in general. You know what I mean? Not specifically. I mean to say, I'm just saying, I be feeling like these firefighters out here they just do. And Jesus Christ, they are freaking heroes in this world. Seriously. Rest in peace to all 15 of them. Let's go to the next one. Number 8.
This story begins in the seemingly tranquil setting of the Spanish Lakes Fairways retirement community, located in Fort Pierce, Florida. This picturesque community, known for its lush landscapes and peaceful living, offers its residents a serene retirement experience. Fort Pierce itself is nestled on Florida's east coast, boasting beautiful beaches, a rich cultural heritage, and most importantly, a nice, close-knit community feel. In this idyllic setting, residents of Spanish Lakes Fairways enjoy a variety of amenities designed to enhance their golden years, including communal areas for socializing and leisure activities. However, one of the community's rules to ensure the safety and well-being of its residents, the community park discourages people walking their animals on the streets, directing them instead towards more scenic routes, such as the various lakes that are situated behind a lot of the community's homes. It was against this backdrop, on a day just like any other, with the Florida sun casting a warm glow over the community, that 85-year-old Gloria Surge decided to take her dog, Trooper, for a walk by one of these lakes, located just behind her house. Thinking not much of it, she put the lead on her little dog and stepped out to enjoy the sunshine. This innocent walk with her dog would be their last.
Oh.
All captured in the unsettling CCTV footage that later went viral. You can see Gloria walking innocently by the water. However, what she didn't see was an alligator waiting in the still lake. This alligator...
I had a feeling this what it was too, y'all. But it's crazy. I can understand the dog, but how the lady end up getting attacked by the alligator too? Because I'm assuming that the alligator will attack the little dog first. Unless she was trying to save the dog and she got dragged in the water or something. Oh man, see, places like this, they shouldn't even have alligators in water like this or surrounding a residential neighborhood and stuff. There should be no freaking alligators out there, point blank, period, man. This ain't the freaking woods. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is not a forest. This is a residential area where all these houses and all these people live. And you got a dangerous ass animal like this swimming around in the ponds and rivers and lakes and fish. What the fuck? Hell no. Let's go.
Gator was known to some residents as Henry. He's large and he can be seen lurking and preying on Gloria and her dog. In the chilling video, it shows the predator silently stalking them for over 100 feet, completely blending into its watery surroundings. Now this is when all of a sudden, the gator came rushing out of the water, not initially at Gloria, but with its sights set on her dog. As any dog owner would do, in a desperate attempt to save her companion, Gloria pulled on Trooper's lead and got him out of the jaws of the beast. However, this act of bravery turned the alligator's attention towards Gloria, deeming her a much greater meal. With terrifying force, the alligator snatched the 85-year-old, dragging her by her ankle into the murky depths of the lake. Neighbours who heard screaming rushed out of their homes to witness the end of the horror unfolding. Their frantic 911 calls echoed the urgency and fear of the moment.
So that's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just asking, man, like, and I was right, though. The alligator did attack the dog first. But she was like, F that. I'm going to save my dog. And I ain't going to lie. If I was in that situation and my freaking dog getting attacked by an alligator, I'm going to try to grab and go too. Like, hey, man, shout out to her for doing that. Because I'm not leaving my fucking dog behind. Fuck that. Let's go.
Oh my God. The alligator's got her.
Multiple people attempted to intervene, yet the alligator remained unfazed, holding Gloria under the water until the authorities arrived. Damn. Amazingly, Gloria's dog survived this ordeal. But sadly, however, Gloria just wasn't so lucky. Unfortunately, nothing could be done to save her life, and she was pronounced dead on the scene. Henry the gator was soon caught and hauled off into a truck, where he was later euthanized and Gloria's remains retrieved. This caused a local outcry. While the residents knew about the gator population, and even some were given names like Henry, many wondered why Gloria was forced to walk near the water, and wondered why there were no signs at all to warn people who were not aware. If you don't know, Florida has a large alligator population over its 67 counties. They actually have 1.3 million alligators in just Florida alone. Damn. They're literally everywhere. And most people living in Florida should be aware that any body of water may contain a gator. They can be found in practically all freshwater bodies, and occasionally even in saltwater.
And see, now Ryan, he educated me a little bit now, y'all. He educated me because I was saying like, man, hey man, no, y'all shouldn't allow alligators to be in this water anyway in this neighborhood with all these people and all these houses surrounding these different rivers or ponds or lakes or whatever. But it's making sense now. This is Florida. And we have, I don't know if y'all have seen clips, but I have seen literally clips of freaking alligators running down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like down the fucking, the bypass with the cars and shit. Like, I get it now. Like he said, man, you should never trust, especially you living in Florida, that an alligator is not, it could possibly be in this water. So I get it now. That brought a little clarity to this one for me. But it's still sad what happened to this lady.
So, considering the sheer amount of these predators lurking in the depths, you'd think that alligator attacks would be very frequent, right? Well, in reality, they're just not. The number of cases of people being attacked by alligators in the state of Florida is very small. However, in this case, surely having the gators so close to your home should surely be a no-no. But that's just me. After the incident, Gloria's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the owner of the retirement community. According to the complaint, the lawsuit holds the corporation responsible for the deadly alligator attack. Their lawyer said the presence of large alligators in the lakes of the property was well known to the property manager, and this gator was no exception. He said, in fact, evidence obtained by our firm will show that maintenance workers in the community routinely fed this alligator chicken scraps and even named the dangerous reptile Henry. In response, the building corporation president, Joel Wynn, said in a statement, "We certainly understand the tragedy and the feelings of Mrs. Sturge's family. However, we developed the Spanish Lakes Fairways over 37 years ago. There's approximately 3,000 residents, and this is the first time where a resident has been attacked by an alligator. Gloria was a long-time resident and certainly knew of the presence of alligators and that they were inherently dangerous animals. So they pretty much just pointed the finger at her. While this—
See, I don't agree with this though. I don't agree with that, man, pointing the finger at her like, oh, it's her fault. She knew it was alligators in that water. No, F that. That don't change the fact that the freaking alligator ended her life. Like that's the point of the story right there. That's the fact, and you need to pay her family some money for that. They have the right to sue you for that, man. I don't care. No, F that, man. Y'all know. And see, that's the difference about this one, though. Like I said, I understand now what Ryan was saying, that is freaking alligators could possibly be anywhere, especially in Florida, with they 1.3 million alligators running around the state. But I'm saying, man, that the Spanish Lakes, it still was on you. Y'all could have got rid of these alligators, but instead, y'all decided to feed them and name them Henry. Give them names, Henry and Joe and Jeff and John. Like, come on, man. No, y'all should be held accountable for this lady's death. Let's go.
This lawsuit is still ongoing. The shock of Gloria's passing still continues to affect the residents of the retirement community. While there are still no signs to indicate alligator presence, most locals now try to keep their distance from the lakes, fearing a similar tragic fate themselves.
Number 7.
On the 1st of January 2024, a chilling scene unfolded in South Korea's Gangwon province, specifically within the Pyongyang region. That cold, icy night, as some were still shaking off the remnants of the New Year's celebrations, the local residents hunkered down, bracing themselves against another bout of fierce winds and piercing cold. Yet, unbeknownst to them, the weather and the hangovers would soon become the least of their worries. As darkness enveloped the area once more, an eerie change was on the horizon. At around 8:30 p.m, on that New Year's Day, the people of Gangwon province witnessed an unsettling sight. They saw a dense, heavy fog begin to drift through the streets. The fog began to race down a few roads, and soon it completely engulfed the area. It spread across the roads and blanketed a small part of the town. All captured on video, this phenomenon resembled a scene from a horror movie, straight out of Silent Hill.
I was just about to say that. This straight out of Silent Hill, man. What the fuck? Is that like real legit fog, or is that something else?
The fog creeping along the ground, infiltrating every available space. Drivers that were attempting to navigate through the fog soon found that their vehicles were malfunctioning. The engines began to sputter and they stalled. It was almost like they were being choked by the mysterious fog. In the videos of the incident, you can see the fog. It looks insane. It really does look wild. As nearby residents ventured into the fog, they were met with a thick, pungent odour. It was soon to be revealed that this was not a mere fog, but rather liquefied petroleum gas that had leaked from a nearby petrol station, a fuel that is commonly used in South Korea due to its cheap price. Because liquid petroleum gas has a composition of butane and propane, the gas is actually heavier than air, causing it to lay low on the ground, as vividly depicted in the footage. By 8:40 p.m, the area surrounding the petrol station was completely engulfed in the fog. in the gas. The situation reached a fever pitch at approximately 8:51 when the gas suddenly ignited, setting off a cascade, a deadly domino effect. Dashcam cameras captured the horrifying moment as the gas suddenly combusted, sending flames tearing through the area, igniting up near my buildings and vehicles, while screams of panic filled the air. But as quickly as the fog had appeared, it had dissipated, leaving behind a scene of devastation. Firefighters from Gangwon province swiftly responded and battled the blaze, successfully extinguishing them within 3 hours. Luckily, no one was fatally injured in this incident. However, the fire damaged 14 buildings and forced the evacuation of at least 25 people, according to reports.
Well, God is good, ain't it? I just knew Ryan was about to tell us about some people who died from this. Nobody was even seriously injured. Nobody lost their life. God is freaking good, man, because you look at that explosion, you'll be like, oh, somebody dead. I ain't trying to be funny, man. I'm just trying to be for real, man. You'll look at that and be like, somebody around here is dead. Wow, man. Thank God. Thank God.
Reports from the Gangwon province fire headquarters, 2 individuals suffered severe burns, and they said that the cause of the gas leak remains undetermined. But what insane footage. I don't think I've ever seen any footage quite like this.
Yeah, man, you look at that, you'll think somebody dead, y'all. But hey, like I said, God is good, and I just knew at the beginning, I'm like, is that really fog or is that something else? And come to find out that it's gas in a fog form. Whew, that's something to think about, man. And just real quick, y'all, that's why I be kind of paranoid at work a little bit, man, because I work around ammonia, and sometimes you can smell it a little bit, and I just be wondering, like, is it leaking? Is it gonna get worse? You know what I'm saying, man? It just had me thinking like that. And watching all these videos don't make it any better. But let's go to number 6. Number 6.
This traumatic footage was recorded on October the 28th, 2023, in the United Kingdom, in the heart of Sheffield, very close to where I live actually, under the gleaming lights of the Utilita Arena. The Utilita Arena opened in 1991 and has averaged 122 shows a year, with over 650,000 customers passing through each and every year. However, on that October night, a truly shocking event unfolded that would forever mark the memory of those in attendance. It was Saturday the 28th of October, a day that was eagerly anticipated by fans of ice hockey. This was because the Sheffield Steelers were set to clash with the Nottingham Panthers in a game that promised excitement and fierce competition. Amongst the players were Adam Johnson, wearing jersey number 22. Adam stood out not just for his athletic prowess, but for his journey from the American ice rinks to the UK's elite ice hockey league. Having graced the NHL with his talent in 13 games for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Adam's presence on the ice was a testament to his dedication and love for the sport. As the game commenced, the arena, packed with around 8,000 people, buzzed with anticipation. The first half of the game passed with the usual intensity and sportsmanship expected for such a high caliber match. However, as the clock ticked towards the 34th minute, an eerie silence was about to descend upon the arena. Adam, in the midst of a play, found himself in an unforeseen and just truly horrifying situation. Another player on the opposing team came into contact with him in a manner that would have grave consequences. In a split second that seemed to stretch into an eternity for the onlookers, Matt Petgrave's skate flew up and struck Adam's neck, causing a grievous injury on the ice. Now this is me just trying to explain the footage, but what essentially looks like happens is Adam's skating along and Matt just sort of leaps up in the air and his skate suddenly reaches Adam's neck.
try to do that on purpose? Y'all, did he try to do that on purpose, man? Because how in the hell your damn leg go way up there? And you know that you got these freaking skates on that's ice skates that's basically ice blades. They may be cold blades. They sharp like that. And that's him in the neck. I don't watch hockey like that. But that did not look like a hockey move, my brothers and sisters. For him to just do like this is legs. And one of them just go all the way up to this man's neck. I don't know. It just seemed a little suspect. I don't see how that's an accident. I could be wrong, but let's see.
Within just a second, the damage was done. The arena, once filled with the roars of the excited crowd, fell into a stunned silence. This silence was only broken by the sound of Adam's skates as he struggled to get to the safety of his team's bench. Adam had had his jugular veins severed by the ice skate, a group of major blood vessels that stretch from your head to your upper chest. Bleeding profusely, Adam collapsed onto the ice. A stark contrast to the white surface was now stained with his red blood. Immediately, his teammates and opponents alike rushed to his aid, forming a protective circle around him while the arena's paramedics hurried to provide emergency care. As protective sheets were drawn up around this impromptu circle, the players with heavy hearts retreated to the locker room and the spectators were told to leave. Adam was rushed to Northern General Hospital, but despite the doctor's best efforts, he succumbed to his injuries that evening. The announcement of his passing was delayed until the following morning, a truly somber moment for his family, friends, and the wider hockey community. The outcry from fans and players alike called for more protective measures. They called for mandatory neck guards. Many pleaded that if Adam had been wearing a neck guard, it may well have saved his life. As the community grappled with the loss, the circumstances of this incident came under scrutiny. Video replays, along with eyewitness accounts, painted a complex picture of the collision between Adam.
Man, my brothers and sisters, I don't know now. I'm just saying, I don't know a lot about hockey, but the more I watch that clip, and y'all need to rewind it if you have to rewind it and look at it again. It looked like that man literally tried to super kick Adam. It looked like he went for a super kick. Now, one thing I do know about hockey is there's a lot of dirty plays, a lot of hits. They literally be taking off their gloves and be fighting, and the referees will let them fight. You know what I'm saying? There is no other sport where referees will just sit back and watch you fight. You can't do that in the NFL. You can't do that in the NBA. You can't do that in the MLB. But in the NHL, you could do that. And that dude looked like he was trying to super kick that man. I'm not, if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry for being wrong and accusing him. But that's just from my outside perspective looking in, man. It looked like he literally went for a super kick. Like he knew what he was doing. How in the hell your leg get way up there to his neck? And then it was a whole setup. Like he pushed the dude out the way. Then it like he kind of winded up and then just flung his leg up there. I ain't lying, y'all. Go look at it again and tell me I'm lying. Let's go.
Adam and Matt. Some speculated about the intention behind Matt's actions, given that he had a reputation for aggressive play and a history of disciplinary issues, including a permanent suspension from the ECHL.
Sarnak inside on Trujillo.
Oh.
He got wiped out by Petgrave as he cut to the net.
You saw it coming like a freight train. I think Petgrave's a little hurt on the play. Favoring his right leg.
Serbench.
Let's take a look at Matt Petgrave's hit. And it's a Wumdinger. You can kind of see it. Kaboom.
As the police began to investigate the incident by viewing the video and viewing the live streams, on the 14th of November, Matt Petgrave was arrested on suspicion of manslaughter. As this is a fairly new case, Matt was later released on bail pending further investigation. So right now, the result of the arrest can only be speculated upon. The aftermath of Adam's tragic death saw a profound shift in the ice hockey world. In response to this tragedy, all across the UK, amateur teams received first aid kits. A prevention of future deaths report was issued by the coroner, highlighting the urgent need for neck guards in ice hockey. The English Ice Hockey Association heeded the coroner's warning and mandated neck guards for all players in international competitions starting in 2024. A safety measure that, while implemented too late for Adam, promised a safer future for the sport that he loved. In the following days, as the Sheffield Arena returned to hosting games, the shadow of that night continues to linger. Adam Johnson's legacy, marked by his talent, dedication, and the end to his promising career, serves as a stark reminder of the risks athletes face and the paramount importance of safety in the pursuit of sport.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. But y'all, come on now. I knew I wasn't tripping, man. He did get charged with manslaughter. You know what I'm saying, man? I knew I wasn't the only one thinking like that. And I'm pretty sure some of y'all was thinking like that out there too. That man tried to do that shit. Then he already got a history of being dirty plays, getting suspended for life from certain leagues because of shit he was doing. And I agree with the net guards. I feel like net guards should be necessary, man. Just because even if it is an accident for something like this to happen, or even if it's intentional, it will still prevent it, man. And I'm just assuming that hockey is like the NFL. As far as like NFL players, they don't really like the fact that they having to wear more and more pads and the helmets. Look at the NFL helmets over the years, how much they have changed and got more protective. And it's a certain like manly thing about and competitiveness about men who like, oh, we don't need all that protectiveness. You know what I'm saying? I'm hard out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm hard out here. I don't need all these pads and gadgets on me. But man, at the end of the day, times change, and yes, y'all do. Point blank period. Y'all do need that protection, man. Especially when you got people out here doing crazy stuff like that man did. Because at the end of the day, long story short, short story long, I believe he did that kick on purpose. I believe he literally tried to super kick that man, and he connected and ended his life. Rest in peace one more time, man. And we about to go to number 5, y'all. But before we go to number 5, I gotta take me a bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right, my brothers and sisters, back to it. Number 5.
This frankly ridiculous footage finds its origins within the heart of Africa, within the diverse landscapes of Kenya. While the clip dates back to January 2021, unfortunately I was unable to find the precise location or even the time that it occurred. However, the content captured in this particular video is just startling in nature. The scene opens up with a group of individuals gathered by the edge of a lake, notorious as it appears for being a dwelling place for a considerable number of crocodiles. As the camera pans, it captures the moment a medium to large sized crocodile slowly emerging from the watery depths. With deliberate, measured movements, it makes its way onto the land. The crocodile, with its distinctive, hunched, scaly back, navigates the dry mud terrain, moving with a predator's grace. In the background, you can hear people laughing and shouting as the crowd gathered to watch the crocodiles by the water.
Boy, they living different over there, because I don't see nothing funny or exciting about seeing a freaking crocodile come up out of the water. He come up out of the water, and the closer he get to me, the farther I'm getting away from his ass. You know what I'm saying, man? F that. They living different over there, y'all.
But the tension soon escalates when one audacious individual dares to approach it from behind. The person teases the crocodile, tempting fate by engaging with its predatory instincts. As the footage continues, it reveals that 3 more individuals joined the first. They weren't content with watching the crocodile at a safe distance, and they wanted to take a photo and engage with the animal. A truly ridiculous idea. The group of people positioned themselves behind the crocodile, holding onto it as if it was a prop, as if it wasn't a wild animal. They struck poses for photographs, and the scene is just frankly surreal.
Yeah, they living most definitely way differently over there.
Blend of bravado and recklessness, and then the moment of reckoning arrives. Is it Murphy's Law, where they say if something can go wrong, it will? Another spectator, perhaps caught up in the moment's adrenaline, decides that she's going to step in and have fun with the crocodile. But this time, she stands in front, significantly underestimating the danger. In an instantaneous reaction, the predator's instincts take over, and with insane speed, the crocodile struck. The attack was swift, leaving no opportunity for the woman to evade. The camera, in a sudden shift, diverts the focus to the ground, leaving the viewers with the harrowing sounds of agony. While unfortunately I wasn't able to tell the outcome of this story, whether the woman lived or died, I wasn't able to find out. This footage...
You want to know what's so crazy about that? Rewind it, y'all. They took the fuck off. Everybody took off. I'm talking about, it ain't look like nobody was concerned about the lady who got attacked by the crocodile. It's like they left her by her damn self, man. You know what I'm saying? Just from the little footage that we saw. But Jesus Christ, man, they just put themselves in a ridiculous ass spot. Like, why y'all taking selfies with a wild ass crocodile? I don't even give a damn if the crocodile tamed. Well, no crocodile can be tamed, but you know what I'm saying? Like one that been held in captivity for all these years, your local crocodile at the zoo or whatever. I'm still not trusting that motherfucker. That is crazy, man. Then it happened so quick. So freaking quick. It's so amazing how God has made some of the most biggest, hugest animals in their own right, and they are still fast as fuck. Let's go.
While shocking, serves as a somber reminder of the unpredictable nature of wildlife, especially creatures as formidable as crocodiles.
Crazy. Number 4.
In the unassuming routine of daily life, where cycling through the streets offers a moment of solitude and reflection, you never expect that it's going to be your last bike ride, and you never expect this to happen. This horrifying incident occurred in the streets of Huntingdon, Cambridgeshire, in the United Kingdom, on a dreary afternoon of October the 20th, 2020. That day was a normal day, just like any other, marked by intermittent rain and a blanket of overcast skies. So just typical UK weather then. However, the weather set a somber tone that would unwittingly foreshadow the events to come. On that cold, rainy day, a 49-year-old woman by the name Oriel Gray was walking down the street, minding her own business, as seen in the CCTV footage. Seconds later, Oriel noticed a cyclist coming down the road ahead, biking on the pavement. This was 77-year-old Celia Ward, a retired midwife. As she was approaching Oriel, completely unprovoked, in a sudden outburst, Oriel shouted at Celia, telling her to get off the pavement. In a moment of pure terror, Oriel then reaches out and pushes the cyclist, Celia, into oncoming traffic.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
The vehicle that was passing was caught by surprise and had no opportunity to swerve or stop, resulting in Celia's immediate death on the scene.
That is fucking murder, man. She literally murdered that lady. F that. Oh my God, man. Did she even know that lady? Like, what the fuck? That, man, see, that right there make me don't even want to walk on sidewalks by nobody, because a crazy motherfucker might just decide to push you off in traffic. Man, these videos will have you paranoid as hell, y'all. Like, what the hell, lady?
In a truly horrible twist, Oriel was not fazed by this encounter. She left before even the ambulance arrived and actually went food shopping. She went to Lidl and Aldi and had a good time, pretending like nothing was happening. The police were forced to track her down, and then, when questioned by the police, Oriel was evasive and said that she may have shouted, but of course she didn't push the cyclist, she would never do that, trying to lie to the police and say that it wasn't her fault. But little did she know that her terrible act of malice was all captured on camera.
Lady, I don't know whether you know it or not, and it's too late to tell you, but when you out in public, just assume that you are being recorded at all times, because 9 times out of 10 you probably is. You know what I'm saying, man? Everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people, residential homes have cameras on the outside now. You're riding down passing all these stores and gas stations, they got cameras. You're passing by the traffic lights and all that, they got cameras. You know what I'm saying, man? She probably knew. Well, I don't think she knew. I don't think that she knew that they had her on camera doing it, though. Not this time. I don't think she knew it.
Your arm's still out, and it looks like your mouth is moving. What were you saying?
I think to slow down, just slow down.
Slow down?
Yeah.
There is actually sound with this CCTV. I'll stop it there because that's the key bit. We don't need to keep watching the bit where the lady gets hit by the car.
Right.
Did you hear what was said there by yourself?
Not quite, no. I couldn't really hear it.
Speak. What you said was get off pavement. What did you mean by that?
I can't remember.
Why did you say what you said?
I don't know.
Soon after being questioned, Oriole was arrested and charged with manslaughter. During her police interview, she presented a narrative filled with inconsistencies, claiming that she had impairments such as partial sightness and cerebral palsy, coupled with the anxiety of potentially being struck by the bike. But upon being presented with the CCTV, she completely changed her story and suggested that any physical contact might have been an instinctual act of self-defense. When Oriole appeared at Peterborough Crown Court on March 2nd, 2023, she showed a complete lack of remorse until she was faced with the gravity of her sentencing. Judge Enright characterized Oriole as someone who displayed a possessive attitude towards the pavement and a deep-seated resentment towards the cyclist's presence. Despite her initial offer to help at the scene, Oriole's decision to leave before even the ambulance arrived, along with her evasiveness and dishonesty, painted a damning picture.
Exactly, man. You ain't even stayed there after the lady got hit. You just kept walking down the street, went to your house, then decided to go shopping. Like, come on, man. This lady is so full of shit, y'all. Like, and she a terrible liar, too. Like, she is a terrible liar. And I mean, like, oh, man. I don't really like that manslaughter shit, y'all. I just feel like that. Just give her the murder charge, man. You pushing somebody into the street, you gotta be thinking, you know, then think about this. Ooh, my brothers and sisters, think about this part right here. The way she was walking, she seen that car coming when she pushed that lady into the street. She had to be knew it was a car coming, and she still pushed her. That's murder, man. That is murder. Let's go.
The emotional toll of the incident was truly palpable. In the victim impact statements, particularly from Celia's husband of 53 years, David, he said he lamented the daily pain of her absence and missed her profusely. The driver, who was dragged into this tragedy by accident, expressed a persistent guilt and a life irrevocably altered by that fateful day. To make things even worse, it was revealed that there was a sign further up the road that indicates that cycling is allowed on the path. In Oriole's defense, her legal team attempted to attribute her actions to her disabilities, a strategy that was actually dismissed by the judge following an expert testimony. He said that these disabilities would not have affected your ability to tell if something was right or wrong, and you committed a horrible act that day. The jury's unanimous verdict found Oriole guilty of manslaughter. However, considering her clean criminal record, along with her disabilities and the fact that she would have struggled in prison, she was only sentenced to 3 years. Not enough time.
That is bullshit. That is, you might as well not even had locked her up for that. What the hell 3 years gonna do, man? You might well not even have locked up. I don't give a fuck how old she is, no disabilities, no none of that shit. She got a clean record, nothing. She murdered this lady. I don't understand why that's so hard to get through people's head. You murdered somebody. You are the cause of somebody's death intentionally. Because like I said, I had to think about it, y'all. She had to been seeing a car coming when she pushed the lady. You know what I'm saying, man? So I am pretty sure she knew what the fuck she was doing when she pushed her in that street. And you gonna give her 3 years? That's all this lady life was worth. 3 years. Let's try to make it make sense. That's just, life don't make sense anyway, but that's just another reason why it don't make sense. Shit like this, man. Make you feel like you living in cuckoo land or something. Bizarro world. Let's go.
Time for a life taken too soon.
Rest in peace. Number 3.
Now this truly shocking footage unfolded on a seemingly ordinary Monday, March the 15th, 2021, within Pembroke Pines, Florida. The day was characterized by clear skies and a nice gentle breeze, a typical setting for the start of the week. It was just a typical Monday. That afternoon, a single mother, along with her 4-year-old son, were navigating their SUV through the streets of Pembroke Pines, specifically along Southwest 72 Avenue and 12th Street. This route lies in close proximity to North Perry Airport. It was a familiar stretch to them, and while they were driving along, they were probably planning for the weekend, their thoughts far removed from the potential dangers lurking nearby. North Perry Airport is known for servicing private and charter flights. It's nestled uncomfortably close to residential areas, and for the locals, the sight of planes making low passes overhead is a common occurrence and one that carries an underlying fear of a possible plane crash. At approximately 2:30 p.m, a Beechcraft Bonanza single-engine aircraft had departed from North Perry Airport. When they started the engine, it emitted a rough idle that could be heard from nearby, and this is how it was reported. However, the 2 people in the plane ignored this rough idle, and soon they ascended into the sky. However, it wasn't long before the plane encountered significant engine trouble, prompting a desperate attempt to return to the airport.
I just don't know how you can ignore something going on wrong with an airplane before you take off and you still decide to take off. Like, I don't get how y'all make that decision, man. I'm already shit. I wouldn't say I'm scared of airplanes, y'all. All I'm gonna say is I never been on one. But if God willing, hopefully one day I will be on one, because I do want to travel around the world. If God willing, you know what I'm saying? God bless me to do that. But man, if I know something going on with the airplane, I'm not getting on that motherfucker. Hell no, I hear any kind of crazy noises. Let's go.
Now, just doing a little bit of research on this, aviation experts actually caution new pilots against attempting to turn back towards the airport after takeoff, advising instead to maintain a controlled glide and select the best possible site for an emergency landing. Tragically, however, the pilots in this case chose to ignore this advice, finding themselves simultaneously deprived of airspeed, altitude, and luck as they approached the airport for an emergency landing. The ensuing disaster was all captured by a Ring doorbell camera. The footage documents the aircraft's heartbreaking attempt to reach the safety of the runway, only to fall short by several hundred feet.
That one sent chill through me too, my brothers and sisters, man. I'm just stuck on the fact of the timing for that to happen. The timing for that car to be going by at that exact moment where that plane hits. It is so crazy, man. That sent chills through my body seeing that.
The plane clipped low-running power lines before tragically colliding with the SUV. This SUV was carrying Megan and her 4-year-old son. The impact was described by locals as resembling a bomb explosion. As the plane tumbled into the ground, it erupted into a fireball. This fireball then set ablaze the fuel that had leaked onto the road, turning the scene into a catastrophic inferno, Witnesses from nearby homes were greeted by the ghastly sight of plane debris strewn across their community and the aircraft's fuselage engulfed in flames. Emergency services rushed to the scene, where it was confirmed that the 2 individuals aboard the plane had died on impact.
Dang.
Megan and her 4-year-old son were quickly transported to the hospital, and while Megan eventually recovered physically from her injuries, her son tragically did not survive. He passed away.
Do y'all see this freaking car, man? Do y'all see this freaking car? God is good to let her, you know what I'm saying, survive it. But I know if she had to make that choice, she would rather, no question asked, that her son survive. I know it's going to always just hurt her, man. Just look at that car, dude. Rest in peace to her baby boy.
That day, raising the death toll to 3. This just honestly tragic event left the Pembroke Pines community in utter shock. The accident reinforced their fears of the rare yet devastating potential of plane crashes. The sorrow and the loss experienced that day serves as a poignant reminder of the true fragility of life and the unforeseen circumstances that can arise, even on the most ordinary of Mondays.
Yep, man. You will just think it's a normal, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Then it'll just turn absolutely terrible. It'll turn to a tragedy tale real quick, my brothers and sisters. Like, they just riding down the road. Who think they gonna get it? Have you ever been in a car riding down your neighborhood, and you expecting that you may get hit by a plane? Like, that is so crazy, y'all. And I may need to make a note to myself, never live in a neighborhood that's close to an airport. I may need to make that note. I already work at a place that's close to an airport, and we be hearing planes flying by, and I be getting all crazy looking. Let me stop, man. Rest in peace to them 3 people, though. Real talk. And let's get to the last 2. Number 2.
On February the 22nd, 2023, a harrowing event unfolded in the Alxa League, located in the remote and sparsely populated area of Inner Mongolia, within China's northeastern province of Heilongjiang. This region, whose economy is heavily reliant on mining and extractive industries, became the site of a devastating mining accident that captured national and international attention due to its severity and the tragic loss of life involved. Despite China's status as a leading coal producer in the world, with Inner Mongolia ranking as the 2nd largest coal producing area, its mines are notorious for being some of the deadliest in the world. This reputation stems from a combination of lax safety standards and the industry's struggle to comply with the government's repeated calls for safety measures. Official data from China's National Mining Safety Administration indicated that the number of accidents in coal mines nearly doubled in 2022 compared to the previous year, with the death toll hitting a peak of 245 in 1 year. Amid these concerning trends, the Alxa left Banner Mine, a significant open pit coal mining operation that had transitioned from an underground mine in 2012, became the epicenter for a tragic incident. On February the 22nd, 2023, at approximately 1:16 PM, as hundreds worked away in the open pit mine, slogging away completely out of the blue, one of the giant slopes catastrophically collapsed, all captured in the CCTV footage.
Oh!
It looks ridiculously insane.
My God.
More than 50 workers were buried under a massive debris field, stretching half a kilometer wide and approximately 80 meters high. The people that were buried, there was no chance for them to survive. Rescue, of course, rushed to the scene, but they were only able to rescue 6 people. But dozens more were unaccounted for. They were presumed missing or dead. The situation...
Man, that's one of the most craziest clips I ever seen, man. Jesus Christ. And I already feel like it's something wrong. They should have... I don't know, man. Just the fact that in 1 year, y'all have had 245 deaths And y'all still out here doing this? Like, I don't know, man. I know stuff happen. People like this. Like, I was talking about the firefighters, but you can give a lot of work to, like, not work, a lot of respect, you know what I'm saying, to the construction workers out here too, because they putting their life on the line to build all this stuff that we see and stuff, and just to make sure that the earth is livable, habitable for all us or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And we get to enjoy luxuries and the good life and all that, man. So I'm not saying that these workers are not necessary, but I'm just saying, man, 245 people in 1 year is like, man, one day, it's like, bro, one day something like this gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like the writing on the wall, my brothers and sisters. And Jesus Christ. When it happened, the wall fell, the wall broke, literally. That's a crazy clip, man.
The situation's gravity prompted Chinese President Xi Jinping to demand an exhaustive search and rescue operation. Despite deploying over 300 rescue workers, equipping them with heavy machinery and rescue dogs, the efforts were plagued by challenges, including a second landslide that further buried the people trapped. The recovery mission was complex to say the least. They had to use innovative strategies such as layered excavation and other descending methods to navigate the ongoing threat of additional collapses. Family of the missing waited anxiously for an answer, but months went by and then the death toll was announced. In the announcement, officials confirmed that all the missing miners had perished, bringing the total death toll to 53. This incident cast a harsh light on the safety measures set by the Inner Mongolia Xinjiang Coal Industry Limited. This company faced penalties for a range of safety violations. This tragedy not only highlighted the persistent risks associated with China's mining industry, but also led to a nationwide push for more stringent safety measures.
And I guess that's what I was trying to say more than anything, even though I didn't say it, but I was trying to get to that point, man. Like I said, I know that people like this are necessary in the world just for us to exist and live good, but we got to try to make it as safe as we can. Let's try to put all the safety measures out there as possible. It go back to the one with the fertilizer shit, the fertilizer place, man. And they had 270 tons, like, bro, of ammonia sulfate, astronine, whatever the damn word is, peroxide, whatever it is, man. And it's like, bro, you putting yourself in a situation where you know it's not safe, man. And look what happened, that explosion. Look what happened, that big ass landslide, and people have been dying here this whole time. So let's try to put something in, man, to try to help prevent this. You know what I'm saying, man? And I kind of knew, like, everybody in this situation had died, other than those, 6 people that got out at the very beginning. At that point, man, everybody else dead, man. They don't sit back wondering, like, how you gonna try to find these people when you got these cranes and stuff digging into the ground, or whatever the word is, digging into the ground. And like, you got this heavy ass machinery, long story short, story long. You crawling over the landslide dirt with the machinery. You freaking digging in the ground with it. You potentially killing more people as you doing that, even though I think everybody already had died anyway, man. It was a freaking, another long story short, story long. It was an effort that you already knew what the outcome was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already knew it was too late, but they still tried. I don't know. Let's go to numero uno. Number 1.
On the afternoon of July the 24th, 2013, 218 passengers, along with 4 crew, boarded a super-fast train, completely unaware that they were about to experience a catastrophic nightmare. A nightmare that would haunt the survivors for the rest of their lives. This incident begins in Spain. Now, Spain's high-speed railways have been in operation since 1992. They boast one of the world's most extensive networks spanning across the entire country. These tracks, distinctive from conventional ones, are managed by a company called ADIV. Now, the train that the people boarded that day was a Renfe Class 730. This train was designed for versatility, capable of navigating both the high-speed tracks and the conventional tracks, thanks to its dual electric and diesel power. This feature allows it to reach staggering speeds of up to 160 miles an hour on electric mode and even 120 miles an hour on diesel, making the Class 730 a popular choice among passengers for its efficiency and speed. However, on that fateful day, the 218 passengers and 4 crew were on an express route from Madrid to Ferrol. This journey typically lasted around 5 hours, and that day it proceeded without incident until it approached its final stretch. As the train neared Santiago de Compostela at around 8:40 p.m, the train came up to a challenging part of the track known for a sharp left curve immediately after a series of tunnels and bridges. This curve actually required manual intervention in order to slow the train by the driver. However, if this was forgotten for any reason, a very advanced signalling system called the ERTMS was implemented on the tracks to automatically regulate speed, to slow down the train and stop calamity.
And I bet it didn't end up stopping the train. I bet that's what it is.
The train neared its last stretch of the journey. It went through a series of tunnels, but it was during the last tunnel that the driver, Francisco Garzon, received a call from the railway company Renfe. They had called to discuss the final route of the journey, but this call came at the worst possible moment. As the train was travelling through the tunnel, it was travelling far too fast. Distracted by the phone call, he missed not 1, not 2, but 3 verbal messages to decelerate, and before he knew it, the train was emerging from the tunnel at 120 miles an hour. The speed for this track was supposed to be 50 miles an hour, so it was more than double the safe speed. While the driver slammed on the brakes, it wasn't enough, and the train was unable to make the sharp bend. All captured by trackside cameras, the disaster was immediate. As the train derailed.
And let's see, hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it, man. I feel like freaking train tracks like this shouldn't exist anyway, man. If you shouldn't have no danger where trains have to slow down at this point, or it can derail and throw all these different cars, ain't that what they call the individual train pieces on the track, whatever, into the wall and all that. Did y'all see how the tail end just went straight into the wall? The front barely made it. Like, man, like, you shouldn't even have designed this track like this. Like, it should be against the law to have a train track with a curve like that or a turn like that. Period. You can set up all your different, try to do all the different safety measures and all that to implement to make sure that the train's slowing down while it's going around this curve. But we can cut all that out and just never make no freaking train tracks like this. And we ain't got to do all those safety measures, man. I just don't feel like, long story short, story long, I don't feel like train tracks like this should exist, y'all. Let's go.
All 14 carriages were thrown off the tracks, some overturned and ignited. The safety system that should have slowed down the train failed to kick in, causing absolute destruction. The local community felt the reverberations through the floor and rushed to the scene, but they were met with a scene of just pure horror. Emergency services, including 320 police, firefighters and medics, faced the grim task of rescuing survivors from the wreckage. Every single carriage had come off the rails, and most of them had slammed into a concrete barrier lining the curve. This led to exceptional mortality and injury. When the train derailed, the consequences for the passengers were severe. Due to the sudden deceleration, individuals were thrown forward with force, and as the train took the sharp left turn and derailed, the inertial forces threw the passengers to the right side of the carriage, and inside the overturning cars, people were tossed around violently, leading to chaos. The impact compressed the interior space of the damaged cars, trapping many in confined, crushed spaces, surrounded by the dead. As I said, some of the cars actually caught fire, resulting to severe burn injuries to those inside. Many people suffered lacerations from shredded or torn metal parts caused by the wreckage, and these combined factors contributed to the tragic loss of life. This horrific accident resulted in the deaths of 79 people and caused injuries to everyone on board. This was Spain's worst rail disaster in over 4 decades. Despite the fact that the company, Renfe, was actually on the phone to the driver at the time, and the fact the ERTMS Guardian Angel safety system did not kick in, just 4 days after the accident, on July the 28th, 2013, the train's driver, Francisco, was detained, and here he admitted a momentary lapse of judgment and concentration. He was charged with 79 counts of homicide by professional recklessness and an undetermined number of counts of causing injury by professional recklessness. A thorough investigation ensued. The train's black box showed that while the driver of the train did try to apply the brakes, it was far too late. The train was travelling at 111 miles an hour when it derailed, far exceeding the speed limit on this point in the track. Investigators then looked into why the safety system did not kick in to slow the train down and prevent this tragedy. Their investigations revealed that the Guardian Angel ERTMS system, which should have prevented the crash, was actually disabled at the curve. ADIF, the company which was supposed to maintain the track, found that it was causing trains to randomly come to a halt, causing trains to be delayed, and in turn, losing money. In response, ADIF had granted permission to switch the system off.
Oh, hell to the motherfucking no. They turned the shit off? So this ain't even no accident? See, this is why I said, y'all, this how we just can solve this problem. This how this would never happen. Just don't build no fucking train tracks like this, where we got to rely on other people to keep us safe on the damn track, and they not even doing their job. They don't give a fuck. They turning it off because they losing money. They putting hundreds, thousands of people's lives at risk because they losing money. Just, man, some stuff so fucking sad and crazy, y'all, till you just gotta chuckle like I just did, man. You just gotta kind of laugh and smile at it. It's so freaking insane and ridiculous. How just the world is and people is, and just, I don't know, man. Life is freaking crazy.
This left this stretch of track only under the protection of the older signalling system, which only warns the drivers if they're exceeding speed limits, but it won't actually slow down or stop a speeding train. Now it seems like a lot of people are to blame here, but despite the fact that the railway company ADIF had removed the safety net, they, along with the railway company Renfe, who were on the phone to him at the time, placed 100% blame on the driver. While this incident occurred over 11 years ago, court proceedings continue to this very day. The decision to disable the ERTMS system and the subsequent reliance on an outdated system has led to a lengthy legal battle.
Hey, I just gotta say one thing, man, and I don't know if y'all agree with me or not. Y'all don't know if y'all agree with me or not. But this is one of those stories, this is one of the very rare times over here on our channel, my brothers and sisters, that I really kind of feel like that he didn't try to do that. I'm talking about the driver of the train. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember his name right now. Adolf, I think it is. But I don't think he tried to actually do it. I think this was an honest mistake, man. Now, y'all know how I am too. You cause death to people, especially 79 people. I do still feel like he need to go to prison, man. Even though it was an accident, he still need to go to freaking prison off this one, man. You can call it manslaughter, you can call it 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 51st degree murder, whatever, man. He still got to go to prison. And if that was me and I was the cause of 79 people losing their life, you ain't got to tell me to go to prison. I'll take myself there. Real talk. I will literally go turn myself in and just be done with it. Like, I can't even live outside I wouldn't even want to live. I'll be... Man, all right, I'm finna be quiet now because YouTube probably finna demonetize me for something I was finna say. But I'll be very depressed about that. I'll just leave it like that, my brothers and sisters. And that's real talk, y'all. That is real talk. Let's go.
As the legal battle went on, the driver, along with ADIF's former security director, faced charges of professional recklessness causing death. In October of 2022, The victims' families requested nearly 58 million euros in damages. The driver, along with the former director of security, continued to stand trial, accused of homicide resulting from serious professional negligence, each of them facing 4 years in prison if convicted. And also, whoever's convicted also is responsible in paying that 58 million euros. The driver's lawyer, Manuel Prieto, said that missing signposts along the stretch of railway line where the accident occurred and other inadequate safety measures had triggered the derailment and not the client's phone call. To this very day, the driver and Edith continue to point the finger at each other in court. However, whatever the outcome, it will never bring back the lives of the 79 people that were lost and rebuild the families shattered. It will not heal or mend the scars left behind, and for the people of Spain, this horrifying tragedy will continue to reverberate for years to come. In the meantime, the ERTMS system that was missing on the curve was installed. After this, the government announced that they would conduct a nationwide review across all railways across Spain, confirming the signalling and the route knowledge of train drivers. But that is the end of this mega video. Wowzers trousers. This one took so long to make. I don't think you understand how long this took to make, but I hope you guys appreciate it nonetheless. But while it was a long one, it was an absolutely tragic one. There was so many avoidable and truly horrific entries. I guess I'll start from the top, shall I, and work my way down. Kyla, who jumped into a plane engine, who ran barefoot on the runway. It should have never happened. There should never have been access to the runway, and even if there was, all the planes should have been made aware and their engines should have been shut off. It's tragic that he passed away, but at least he was reunited with his beloved dog. The explosion.
Yeah, man, the first one, man. Oh, man, bro. Kyla, bro. He just lost it, y'all. He just lost it, man. Like, and he went back, like what I was saying, he just went back to that dark place, man, that he had been away from for over 2 years. And he still ended up getting caught back in it. And one of the main thing that do stand out to me is the fact that he still was living for a little while after he got sucked into that, I keep calling it a propeller. I know that's probably not the word, but y'all know what I'm saying, man. But just rest in peace to him and Quicksilver.
Explosion in West was insane. That footage gave me goosebumps. And the fact that the company was storing these stupid chemicals so close to each other and so close to residential buildings, it's just stupid. All of it is just crazy. Gloria, who was pulled into the water. Obviously she knew there was alligators in the water, but you never expect to get eaten by one. I'm not sure pointing the finger at the residential community is the right way to go, but if that makes the family feel better, then I'm all for it. The fog of flames truly shocked me. I don't think I've ever seen any footage like that. I'm glad that nobody died from this incident, but yeah, it's absolutely shocking. Adam, who sadly passed away while doing the thing he loved most, it just doesn't bear thinking about. The people who watched this horror unfold, I'm sure they'll remember that night forever. I am, however, very happy that neck guards are now mandatory, but like I said, it's too late for Adam, and this whole ordeal should have never occurred. Matt Petgrave should have never put his ski that high in the air, in my opinion. I'm not saying he did it on purpose, but yeah, none of it should have happened.
Shit, Ryan, I'm saying he did it on purpose, man. I'll say it for you, goddammit. You right too, bro. He should have never. I just don't see how I don't see how that happens. I could be wrong, man, but it just looked like he purposely did that.
The Africa croc attack, ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say. Just absolutely ridiculous. Oriole pushing an innocent cyclist into traffic, straight to her death. She should have got way longer in prison. It's manslaughter, but she should have got at least 10 years in my opinion. It doesn't matter about her disabilities. That day she chose to make a horrible, horrible decision, and it ended the life of innocent Celia. The aeroplane that crashed in Florida was unbelievably tragic.
Crazy.
The pilots should have not even attempted to get back to the airport. They should have just landed it anywhere. And instead, they tried to get back to the airport, and it led to them dying and bringing with them a 4-year-old boy. The landslide in China shocked me. That footage was wild. It didn't even look real. And last but not least, the Spain train derailment was absolutely horrifying. In my opinion, I think the driver should not be held accountable for this. He was on...
Boy, I said that too, didn't it, Ryan? I said the same thing, man. I don't know if he really tried to do that one, y'all. But, well, I was saying that I don't think he tried to do it, but I do feel like he need to do some time in prison, at least.
On the phone at the time, he assumed that the ERTMS system was kicking even if he didn't slow down, but instead it didn't, and it led to 79 people dying. I believe that Adif, who took the Guardian Angel system away from that curve, should be held responsible. And Renfei, who called him at the time, they would have known he was going through this dangerous track, but yet they still called him. I'm not sure. But, most importantly, what do you think of this one? As always, I do read every single comment, so let me know what you thought. But if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and destroy that subscribe button and give that like a tap while you're down there too. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Oh my God, y'all. I wanted to keep stopping it on every one of them that Ryan just ran down, man. But I'll just gonna stay where we left off as far as the last one. I just feel like, hold on, y'all. Let me grab my mouse. I just feel like, your boy ain't try to do it. He ain't try to do it. Now, Ryan, he put a little nice spin on it. You know what I'm saying? Saying that Adolf should be the one charged because they the ones who knew that safety feature wasn't put in. And he was thinking, the driver was thinking that it was. You know what I'm saying? So even if he was on the phone and going that fast, that safety feature would have still slowed them down. Now, see, my counter argument to that would be, if I'm the driver, the safety feature is like a secondary thing. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm gonna always make sure that I'm slowing it down. That to me would be put in place just for if somehow I can't, like the brakes break or something. Literally the freaking brakes break. B-R-E-K-R-A-K-E, whatever, man. Y'all get what I'm saying, man? Like, they literally fucking break, bro. That's the only way. But other than that, I would still feel bad. Like, dude, I could have stopped that shit, man. So, I don't know, y'all. That's a touchy one. That's a touchy one. But let's go through the other ones real quick. We have definitely been here long enough, man. Shout out to freaking Ryan, man. But I gotta go through all these real quick with y'all, man. The freaking China slide. The freaking China slide, y'all. That is one of the most craziest clips I ever seen in my life, my brothers and sisters. And it's one of them clips where you just know everybody in there dead. It ain't no rescue mission, no nothing with this. They literally like got buried a freaking live, man. What was the next one? The airplane and the lady with her baby, like the timing of that one is just, it is so fucking just sad, man. And rest in peace to the 3 people that lost their life. Like I said, man, hey, if I'm gonna get in the airplane and it sound like anything is wrong with it, we not taking off. That'll be the last thing. I'm taking my ass out this plane. That's where I'm taking my ass out this plane, man. And I know that the mom will always just say, what if I would have just went here or spent this little time there, because just the timing of when that happened. Like, what if the red light would have stayed red for just another second or something? Y'all get what I'm saying, man? So I know that's just crazy for her, but God is good that she did survive, though. Gotta say that. The lady who freaking pushed the lady in the street, come on now, man. You got to get, bro. And Ryan said 10 years. I feel like he being nice. I'm not gonna be nice, my brothers and sisters. Y'all already know how I feel. I would give her life in prison. But she should have got some type of sentence, like 20 to life with a possibility of parole after 10, 15 years, something. I don't know, man. Y'all know I don't play about that murder, man. I don't like that, man. You take somebody's life, your ass should get life. Now, this one right here with the crocodile, y'all. That is just insane. Like I said, boy, they are not from where I live, because ain't nobody from where I live Man, you ain't nobody in this neighborhood right here gonna be with a crocodile taking pictures, taking selfies to put up on Instagram and Facebook. Hell no. I wish we knew what actually happened to that lady. Then it was so crazy because it looked like everybody just took off and just left her. Like everybody just took off, man. But I hope at least, I hope at the very least that, yeah, the very least, I hope, very most, I just hope she didn't die, man. God damn it, man. I'm tripping, y'all. I'm trying to get through these, man. I know we've been here, y'all. I appreciate all y'all who have been here this long with me, too. The hockey player. That man got super kick, man. Now, I keep saying super kick, and I know some of y'all probably wonder why I'm saying that. But I'm really, like, thinking about the WWE, WWF, Shawn Michaels, his finishing move, the super kick. That's what that dude did, man. I feel like he did that shit on purpose, and I feel like that was murder. I feel like he murdered that man, intentionally or not. Manslaughter, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I feel like he should go to prison for that. The freaking flogs, y'all. I mean, the flogs. The fog. The fog, I was like, what's that fog? I'm like, or is that something else? The way it was moving, it was like straight out of a movie. Kind of find out it was gas. And this the craziest thing about that one, that big ass explosion. Go back and look at that explosion again, my brothers and sisters, and everybody survived. I'm not complaining, but it's just like, wow, man, God is freaking good. The lady who got drugged by the freaking alligator, man. That one right there, it was so preventable to me. Even though I get it, they in Florida, and yeah, you gotta think that crocodiles are be in any water. You know what I'm saying? That you should always think that, have that in the back of your mind. And maybe she did know crocodiles was living out there in them ponds and stuff. I don't know, man. But for what their name was, Spanish Lakes or whatever, for them not to want to take no accountability for this lady death, and y'all at the end of the day, it's y'all decision to allow these freaking wild animals to be out here. So y'all gotta take, at least have some type of remorse and take something for it, some accountability for it, man, and get rid of the freaking crocodiles the best you can. They was sitting up there feeding the damn crocodiles, giving them names and shit, making them into pets. That's why the damn crocodile felt so comfortable coming up on the land. Hell, probably looked at that damn dog. Oh, my brothers and sisters, that crocodile, alligator, that was alligator, probably looked at that dog like it was food because of the food that the dudes probably was throwing out there to him. Probably throwing him whole chickens, you know what I'm saying? Raw whole chickens. It's the same size as that little puppy dog. Well, when the puppy probably was a grown dog, but you know, the little miniature dogs and stuff. Same size as a piece of a slab of rib or a slab of steak or whatever, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I feel like they should at least have some type of remorse and be held accountable. But anyway, y'all, the last one, man, I gotta talk about it, y'all, man. Hey, this was great from Ryan. I gotta talk about it. The last one was the first one. The freaking fertilizer, man. The fertilizer plant or building or warehouse or whatever, man. They like, bro, this shit was a ticking time bomb. And that's why I was like, bomb? Did Ryan say bomb? I thought he was saying that somebody had like literally planted a bomb in there, but he was just saying it went off like a bomb and held up. Yeah, it did. The radius that was affected by that, all the people who died, it's like, man, bro. Them rest in peace though, firefighters and the other 3 people, man. And them firefighters just showing up at that crazy scene trying to put that fire out. And then like Ryan said, they weren't even really like educated on how to really deal with a type of fire like this. But hey, they still was right there. Rest in peace to them, man. But I digress. This has been the longest video we done did in a long time, my brothers and sisters, man. But I really enjoyed it with y'all. If y'all made it this far, I really appreciate you being here. Y'all gonna make sure y'all hit that like button, comment. And if you ain't subscribed yet, make sure you gonna do that too. Because I will be back tomorrow for another Coffee Man Friday. But until then, my friends, remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.